South Sudanese community, members of the Electoral Committee, South Sudanese local community leaders, church leaders, ladies and gentlemen from South Sudan, good afternoon. My name is Peter Graham Coach Mabio. To begin with, I would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land. I would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land we have gathered tonight. Before I move on, I would like to welcome my colleagues, my sister Lakirdeng, my younger brother Sivit Ramban to the race. This is not the first time. In 2019, I was one of the candidates, and I welcome them to the race. I would like also to acknowledge or to say an apology on behalf of my family. I am a married man with a lovely woman, Ayen beautiful, and we are blessed with 6 kids. Ayen is with our kids, and he is not with us now. Before I could go ahead, it is a pleasure to declare to all South Sudanese people that I would like to serve you in the next 2 years. This is not the first time, but it has been in my heart. In Brisbane here, I believe most of you know me. I have been in the community. Before I could go ahead and tell you what I want to do, I would like to clearly state it to you that I am not a representative of a family, of a community, or a political group, or a religious group. I am a representative to represent South Sudan. Before I could go further to you, I would like to fully prove what I want to do for the community. And before I set out what I want to do, I would like to say I have 11 principles that I would like South Sudanese organization to be guided or to be governed. If you look at my flyers, you will see those principles, and I will not talk of all of them, but I will talk of governance, a good governance. In our community, we want a good governance system where each and every one of us will have the opportunity to express themselves. We have our constitution, but constitution is not enough. We need some policies and guidelines to guide executive committee on what they do and to guide all the community members. Also, I will mention one of my principles as well is identity. We would like to retain our identity of South Sudan. And within South Sudan, we got 64 tribes. Wherever we are, we need to be identified as South Sudanese and still respect our local identities. Again, I am a man who believes in principle of democracy. Democracy is what I believe in. When I'm elected, the system will recognize every South Sudanese in whatever we are doing. Now, I will tell you what I want to do for the next 2 years when I'm elected with the team, the office. One of the things that I would like to do is to bring our community together. Unity. Unity will be in 3 ways. One, unity among South Sudanese community in Queensland. How am I going to achieve this? I will work with local community leaders. I will work with youth groups. I will work with church leaders. And I will work with services providers to achieve that. When we are united, we will extend our unity to our South Sudanese people in different states and territories of Australia. When we are united as people in Australia, we will be able to address some of the issues that are affecting our people at the federal level, such as, social media is using South Sudanese name, and other communities are committing crime. in the name of South Sudanese community. And later on, they are not South Sudanese. If we are united and if we hear from each other, then we can address that matter. Another part of candidate.
Thank you. Thank you, Electoral Committee. I thank you so much. And I will start with our leaders and elder and South Sudanese. I'm really proud today to be here because when we started, when I came 2009, it was less people. And I'm really proud today to see you here. I'm so happy. So may God bless you all. I will start. My name is Alakia Deng. I am a mother of 9 children, but sorry for mistaking. I forgot one, sorry. So, 9 children. My 9 children, we start from 4 to 24. So 4.5 to 24. Born in South Sudan. I moved to Queensland 2017. And I'm so happy because everyone was saying, who is Alakia? This is me. I married, my husband is back there. Sorry. Yeah, my husband is there. So we have a beautiful children, and during my putting my hand up, and I like to be called president. This is me. So president, and this is me. Being a leader, you just don't just say I'm going to be a vice president. I always go for the top, and. Yeah, and my work, I need to introduce my educational as a mother of 9 children. I finished my high school in Sudan, moved to Australia in 2003. I studied early childhood educational, certificate 3. I moved back, I did a diploma in children's services. I worked for 2013. I worked as child care worker, as a coordinator, from coordinator to supervisor for 3 years. I switched back to health services. So I worked in that industry for almost 5 years. My whole life in Australia is 20 years and above. So I never go back to South Sudan, but I bought here to be free, as I'm free today. 5 years, women's secretary. So I just say, look, I'm not going to stay in a will. I need to move up a bit. So we organize ourselves from the church, different women group from Ghana, Nigeria, different Africans. So what we did, we start to the small program. So we start that program. We just go to the bakery. We ask them, look, we have children, and some people, they don't have work. So can you please, when you finish, can you give us leftover bread? And it's still fresh anyway. So we just collect everywhere until we went to the point we was collecting Panadol as well. From the chemist, we wrote some 5 of us. So we done that. Sadly, what happened? The woman which we trust, we put in that physician was from Nigeria. Sorry, what happened? She disappeared with all the medicine. What we did, we break up. That's the community thing. We break up, and then we say, look, we can't continue this. The other woman was selling noodles because we went everywhere. We asked some shops, some factory. So we start like to donate the meat every Sunday morning. So those people as well, they break down, they move out. So what I decided, I say, oh no, I pull out from the group. I went back to my community again and said, look, I want to be your facilitator. I talked to the women, I said, look, we have difficulties as a mothers. Our children at the school, They don't even, they just have a language problem. So we start as a group. We go to school. We're just working like a volunteer. We get out there. We see if somebody have a difficult. We do what we call some community and say, look, we encourage the one have high school certificate, the one who graduate, we say, look, can you guys help us? So we create another small group, and this group was helping kids with the homework. That was free. We take $5 to buy a little bit of thing. So anyway, I'm gonna move from there. Coming here to the South Sudanese community in Queensland. When I moved here, I'm socialized with the community. What they said, like I'm going to say it in Arabic or in English. I was addicted working in a community. So I decided to join my community, a Will community. So I worked there, the Will community gave me a trust, and I became a leader. I'm former leader right now. Our community was a bit of conflict, and then I went there, we sorted out, we come as one community, which is good. So now I said, look, I'm going back there. Why our 64 tribe don't have something to put them together? I said, oh, if something that missing, I'm going to come back and apply that presidential because it's something missing. We have a community, we have a constitution, we need to move on and start up the program. I set my program as only two long-term and short-term. When I break it down, because we have a lot of issues, as you see, as a mother, when your child went outside there, that's the time you've been divorced. They said because your child is not a good child, the husband doesn't like you anymore. So what are we gonna do when we left with our kids? Some of kids saying that we are left alone because our mother, because of settling money, she get our dad out, she kick it out. But not the issue, that's not a problem. We have a lot of difficulty, we don't share it with the kid. During the incident, I went to the meeting. The African youth was organized. And when I went to that meeting, I was passionate. I was very passionate. And as you know, as Sudanese, we have different culture. We always, have a very, very good culture. And that culture, if we brought it up here, we're still gonna keep it to our children. So I went there, I was crying, just crying inside. I didn't make myself crying because these Kawajat, they will be laughing at me. Because everything, the failure and everything was on us. And then I said, how to reconcile ourselves again with these children. How we can bring them, how we can reunite again with our young one. So this one brought me today, and that's why I'm here. Because we need to come back as a parent and say sorry to our young one. And this is the major, because our young one in prison, they can be a future president in South Sudan or anywhere else, because they're very talented. They have a good talent. We have those have architect. They make things, they're playing, but they're all doing it in prison. So let's come as a woman to this community and build it up. And if our children see us working together with these people or with any stakeholder, they might come up and they will come up and they still, yes, thank you. It's distraction anyway. They will come up and support because we need to work together. I know young people